Are you ready for UFC 307 this weekend? Are you sure you're ready? Because it's going down in Salt Lake City this weekend, and you can get in on all the action with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, all new customers who bet $5 can get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up using my promo code SONNEN. DraftKings, the crown is yours. That's $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. You can use your $200 in bonus bets to stay in on all the action. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun at DraftKings Daily Fantasy for a shot at winning cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, use my promo code SONNEN. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Right now, that's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Here's what I'm going to say, Chael. There's a couple of rules that I think these fighters need to follow. Number one, when they put that microphone in front of your face, right? Never say, I'll fight whoever the UFC wants me to fight next. Just take that out of your vocabulary. It's gone, okay? Gone. Do something. Call anybody out. That is your moment. You have millions of people. Take advantage of it. And number two, if you're going into a fist fight, don't braid your hair, okay? Don't braid your hair. And I'll tell you why. Because
Can I use that? Can I use that if that comes up later? Can I have that? That's great
it's
right
yours. There. It's yours. Here's why, all right? Because if you get so much as like tousled, like one minor Muay Thai clinch on the top of your head, you look like you've been through a war. I contend that if we look back at the biggest example of this, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, remember when she had the hematoma, right? That was bad, but the hair was worse, okay? Because it gets frayed. The braid gets frayed, and then you look like you were beat up. So if it goes to a decision, the judges are like, whoa, look at that guy with the braids, or look at that woman with the braids. So no more braids. I mean, I know it's convenient.
So you've got me here. I thought you were saying that like just as a zinger, but now you're making a point, and it's true. That is very true. When a person's hair gets all messed up and they do look like disarray, yeah, that looks as bad as a swollen eye or some blood coming out of your nose. Like, I do agree with you. The late, great, one of my teammates, just a chance to tell a story about him, but Evan Tanner.
Oh, loved Evan Tanner.
Evan Tanner started braiding his hair. And sure enough, it really did do that. When it would get messed up, it changed. It did change how you look at this. And there's so many judges that go off of the basic like playground rule of, well, whose face is worse? Whoever's face is worse lost the fight. You know, some guys will box, they'll just be like screwing around. They'll have this pinky out. Do you ever see them do that? They're like screwing around. Well, and that's a real thing, and that came from reform school. My coach, Clayton Hires, was in reform school, and he told me when those guys fought, the rule, and everybody knew the rule, is whoever bleeds first loses and the fight's over. So they would grow their pinky nails out.
Oh.
Then if they ever got in a fight, they would just try to cut the guy. They would just try to scratch him. The rules of the reform school before he ever got there, and to this day, according to him, is whoever bleeds first, that's when the fight gets stopped. And by the way, he also loses. Little fun fact for you.
Fun fact, another fun fact, when they put their hair down, you look like you're throwing bigger punches. Clay Guida, right? The hair's going all over the place. So every time he throws the hook, it's, and the judges are like, whoa. I mean, he just looks, he's windmill. He looks badass, right? Brendan Allen, after the fight, he took the braids down. I was like, who's that guy? I literally didn't know who he was. He looked like a different person. And speaking of the pinky thing, I'm a pinky guy because I'm the guy that can look pretty good when I'm shadow boxing. Then you get a human being in front of me and it's like, wait, hold on. 1 second. Give me a second. But when I was on Fresh Prince, we used to shadow box, still do. Will Smith and I always mess around, right? So he's about to tape a scene, and in between scenes, he comes up to me and he's doing his boxing thing, and I throw a right with my pinky out and I scratch his face, which now he has to go in front of camera, doesn't match. So there is an episode of Fresh Prince, and I will get you the name of it, where you see Will in scene 3, he looks normal, and in scene 4, he's got a big red mark on his face.
That's funny.
Yeah, I got in trouble for that one.
I love little stories like that. It's an interesting thing. Brendan Allen had put out a piece publicly, and then Moicano also did it. Now, Brendan Allen did it right after the weigh-ins. Moicano did it after the fight. But they told the same story. And I don't know that it interferes with the fight, but these were the two top guys, the main event and the co-main event, and they say it does interfere with the fight. They got off the scale, and that is where the new USADA. And by the way, USADA's a company, and they're not the current.
I don't either.
Just don't know.
I don't either. We'll call them USADA.
Right. So the new
new
USADA, the new drug
call it
testers.
new USADA.
Yeah. New USADA is standing there and saying, all right, hey, we're here to do a test. And these guys know what that means. It's the second they say hello, you cannot leave their site. Now, you can do anything you want. You could go to the bathroom. You could shower naked. I mean, you can literally do anything you want, but you cannot leave their site. So what Brendan Allen's entire thing is before you leave, I must give you 2 samples, urine and blood. The blood I don't want to do because I'm so dehydrated, it's going to hurt, but I will. The urine I simply can't do because I'm so dehydrated. So now I got to hang out with these guys. You know, these guys are coming to the room and they're coming around. I have to drink certain waters and not follow my standard protocol. And Brendan Allen said it took about 3 to 4 hours of his day that he standardly would have had to himself and begin his real preparation. The moment you come off the scale, it's this major time of preparation. I've never heard of anybody being disturbed. Dana talked about that one time because apparently they did this to Paulo Costa, and Dana said, hey, that won't happen again. After weigh-ins and before the fight, you're off limits, but that's not the way the rule reads. And these guys say, no, we got to have access to them full time, including this time. So this is the way it played out. And Moicano said it really bothered him, regardless of the fact that he got the outcome he wanted. And Brendan is still upset about it. I don't know that I'm helping to make an excuse for him, I guess, as much just to tell you the story. That kind of is a weird thing. Why would they wait? I've seen guys get arrested in something like this. They come out and they're giving some speech in front of the office, and they wait to arrest them when they're doing the speech and embarrass them. It's like, if your job was to arrest them, why didn't you come in the first chance you had, arrest them? Where would embarrassment be any part of this? And it's kind of the same thing with new USADA. It's like, did you guys just pull into the parking lot and get in the building, or did you wait for this incredibly inconvenient time? By your own standard, if you have the right to test him and his name came out of the hat and it's random, go test him. What are you waiting for him to come off the scale for? I mean, if you're waiting for something, then you can wait until the fight's over, or you can't wait for anything at all. Go do your job. But we got to have a consistency here.
I've never been in a fight, obviously, professional fight, but I can only imagine that the time when you step off that scale, right? The relief after going through a weight cut, which most people do, right? Most fighters do. I can only imagine that is a time of solitude. That is a time of rehydration. That is a time of getting your mind right, of meditation. It's maybe, and I don't know, you tell me, but it might be one of the most important few hours of the entire fight camp, quote unquote, before the fight. That's the fighter's time. And for USADA to do that, it's messed up, because anything that puts a fighter even this much off kilter is a horrible thing to do. We watch these fights to see these men and women at their best, Chael. That's the whole point. They say it all the time. They say, I want to fight, and great fighters say it all the time. I wanted to fight him at his best or her best, right? And that's why we watch. No excuses. It's so fantastic when a fighter, even if they did fight injured, they don't say it after the fight many times, and it's the beauty of the sport. It's like, let's see them at their best. If you love this sport and you want the sport to succeed in USADA, yeah, definitely don't go right after they step off the scales. That's insane.
Yeah, it just does seem a little bit weird. I mean, the rules are the rules, and if they've got good reasoning for doing it, but I don't know. It's just, you're waiting for him in the back. Why didn't you grab him before he went up there? Or if you have the right to him, why didn't you interrupt the show and get him right there? How about next time? What if he's in the octagon fighting, his name comes up? And I know I'm being silly, but that's my point, is they don't just get a random number and then have to go right now. There is a level of choice and understanding. And USADA understands dehydration better than anybody. As a matter of fact, they have a whole list of protocols for how to deal with dehydration. So they knew that these guys weren't going to be able to perform, and that it was going to interrupt their day. And does it affect the fight? No, probably not. But is it unprofessional and a little bit odd? I think it's worth bringing up and possibly reviewing. Sure.